Touch. We're here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I guess, is there a way to do that?
Maybe.
Something you
I don't know. So I got this cool little stream deck thing, and I got all these new buttons that can do stuff.
Yeah,
like,
one touch. Like we can end the stream right now.
Like I get
it. But we're back.
And we can bring it back. Just
we
like
brought
that.
it back.
It's super cool, and I don't have to mess around with the mouse as much.
Yeah,
so that's very neat.
We're hoping that steps up the production another level.
I can play sound clips.
So we're getting ready
Such
for
as
mass
Bonesaw.
mutations.
And any other future sound clips, I'm open to ideas.
Yeah.
For when I play this card, I want to hear this sound.
That'd be something we could. I'm extremely. It's
because
the sun is shining directly on me.
The sun is still up. It'll be down in a minute.
Yeah.
But the sun, he is lit AF. Let's not.
I'm litty AF.
Yeah,
as the kids say.
We could do like Hearthstone, where like every card has its own sound. But I am limited to about 11 more buttons.
11 more buttons. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So 11 cards could have their own sound.
Yeah, we could add a.
We need an air horn.
Yeah, can only ever play 11 cards. We're very limited by the decks that we can play.
So we got Star Wars trading card game.
Yeah,
it's a card game by Richard Garfield. So we've got more of those.
Yep.
We got a lot of those involved in this series because it did a lot of them. There are influences to BattleTech for sure. Like we noticed one major thing that you'll learn in a few minutes. If you guys watch the BattleTech stream, you'll be familiar with that.
Yeah. I will say this game originally debuted in conjunction with the worst of the film of the franchise.
Yeah, it started with Attack of the Clones. So,
I would say it was the worst until Rise of Skywalker.
You think Rise of Skywalker was worse than Attack of the Clones?
I think Rise of Skywalker retroactively makes at least one other film bad.
Yeah.
Right? Everything in Force Awakens is like retroactively worse because we know where it was going. It was better when we didn't know where it was going.
That's true.
I do think Attack of the Clones is the worst of the prequels.
Oh yeah.
By a league.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty bad. I cannot watch it in its entirety to this day.
There are parts to like I remember really liking Obi-Wan investigating the Camino stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And that could have been like a sweet movie on its own.
Yeah. Cuz like there's this giant mystery to unravel, but they don't really bring it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to get a reveal of who the Jedi that actually like constricted the army. God, whose name is
it from the cartoon?
He was referenced in the cartoon like one time.
Okay.
No, it was referenced in the movie. Oh crap!
But we never like,
and you never find out anything about him.
Okay, and it just like never pays off.
Yeah.
I mean, like much like,
yeah, it didn't really go somewhere.
Yeah.
He was like in the cartoon, and they gave him a backstory in the cartoon, like because he died before the movie happened.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like Dooku's counterpart in the Jedi, where he had these like really prominent Force visions, and that's why he secretly conscripted Camino to create an army because he foresaw a great conflict in the future. What's his name?
I don't know, dude. I can't watch the film. I can't make it all the way through it.
It's like Sifo Dyas.
Sifo Dyas.
Sifo Dyas. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I've got this box right here. I will say, compared to the Deciphered game, which predates this one, I will say the screen grabs for this game are so much worse than the Decipher one.
They're working with a lot of overproduced stuff as far as like the Attack of the Clones goes.
Right. But I mean, just like I don't know. They're
just not as well doctored, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It's so like, this box.
The box is pretty lame.
Like, what's happening on this box, man?
I also don't like the back of the cards that much. Like, it's very uninspired.
I mean, it's got the classic kind of Ralph McQuarrie sort of feel to it. I don't hate the back of the cards.
You don't hate them?
I don't hate them. I will go that far.
I don't hate them.
It's like the original movie poster kind of feel to it. So I think this is like I don't like necessarily backs that aren't symmetrical. Because I prefer it if the cards are like reversed like that, that you can't tell. I prefer it that way. I'm not like mad if they're not.
I like minimalism on the back of my card games. I don't usually like the name of the game on it. I like it to be asymmetrical or symmetrical. and just like have a symbol. Like Arkham Horror is a great example.
Yeah, well, the Arkham Horror backs are like gorgeous.
They're amazing. Yeah,
they're not symmetrical, but they are just awesome looking. It's got like that sweet Art Deco.
I don't like words on my cards,
and these are like hideous foils.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna highlight this Anakin right here. I don't even know, but I should have like an epilepsy warning for this card because it is just shooting light everywhere.
It was
when
just
you're looking at it
for the sake of foils at this point in time.
Right, because that was like the industry standard. I remember when I'm trying to remember what game added foils to it. I think it was Magic, and the justification was this is like industry standard now. People like adding foils to their games. So
all right, so we're gonna get into cards and how the game's played. So the basic gist is one of us is playing dark side. I'll play dark side, and Nathan's gonna be playing light side, and we are fighting over 3 zones of combat. You have space, you have ground, and you have the character zone.
Yeah, and I think the goal behind this is to try to capture that battle of indoor feeling.
Yeah, where all kinds of stuff's happening at once. So you got your throne room, you got your STs, and you got your stuff. Yeah, we can do a bet once we get the rules explained. So the top left is the build cost. Now we start the game by going back and forth and until we get to 30 total build points. So we're gonna like build a battlefield of stuff at the start of the game. So like all these are gonna be filled out. So purple characters go in the purple place, green goes in the green place, and blue goes in the blue place. So they're all designated that way. For deck building, normally these are all starter decks, but normally you'd have 12. You have minimum 12 of each zone that you have, and you cannot play more than double the amount of another zone you have in your deck. So you can't like overload one zone too much. So if I had 12 characters, I
could not play 25.
Couldn't play 25 space units.
Okay, but you could play 24.
You could play 24.
Okay.
So probably there were decks that would focus more on 2 areas and then try to play defensive for the third.
Yeah.
Because the way you win is by controlling at the end of a turn, and turns go like we basically take our turns at the same time. At the end of a round, I'll say, if one player controls 2 of 3 zones, they win the game. You control a zone if you have a unit there, and the other player has 0 units there. So top left is the build cost of Darth Tyrannous. It's a 7. So that for context, we're gonna roll a die for building at the beginning of each turn. So we're only gonna get 1 to 6 build points per turn to use, and we both get the same amount of build points per turn. There's a lot of dice rolling in this game. I'll say that.
The game is almost exclusively dice rolling.
Yes. The 50 to the left of his text box is speed. Now, during combat, we're going to resolve each zone individually. You go from the highest speed to the lowest speed. And when they attack, they tap, they target a character, they pick up a number of dice equal to power, which is that number below speed. So in this case, Darth Tyrannous says it was a 6. So I would roll 6 dice. I'd pick up a fistful of dice and I'd roll them. Anything, 1, 2s, and 3s are misses, 4, 5s, and 6s are hits. And a hit does 1 damage. That's it. Right below that's the hit points. If they have damage equal to hit points on them, they die. Hit points or damage does stay from turn to turn, from battle to battle. So we're gonna use Keyforge damage counters. It came with like some really crappy cardboard ones, but we're just gonna use these because they look way better and they scale the same way. So that's Darth Tyrannous. They have abilities on them as well. Let's see. So he says, pay 2 force. He gets critical hit 2 for this attack, which means if I roll a 6 during the attack, it does 2 more damage. Pay 3 force, evade 3, prevent up to 3 damage to him, the Tyrannous. Pretty simple. You have to use, I think there's like windows where you can use those abilities. Because I think you give him critical hit, and if it's before you have to do it before you roll the dice.
Gotcha.
So you can't know if you roll a 6 before. Force, ping force. We each start with 4 force, and we get 4 force per turn to spend. That's it. This is the little force meter down here. So we're starting at 4, and it replenishes at the beginning of the next turn.
We did theme our tokens here. There were cardboard force tokens that came with the starter. That we almost immediately knocked off the table. I don't know where mine is.
I found this one, but it's
I immediately knocked mine off the table. in the look for mine, Justin knocked his off the table, and we're like, okay, these are bad ideas. We're gonna lose them. So
doomed to failure.
I'm using ward tokens to represent the protective nature of the light side, and Justin's using an enrage token to demonstrate the
anger of the dark side.
Yep. The fear.
We'll show a battle droid for another example. There's a guy. Oh, he's all chromed up. Look at that. It's nice. He's very slow. 10 speed, 2 cost, 2 power, 3 health. So pretty much a jerk, like a little wimpy battle droid.
Get in the way,
as you'd expect. Ready to cut up by Jedi.
Yeah, we got some spaceships. So I've got the Jedi Starfighter here, kind of decent stats, a 3/3 for 3 and speed 50, which seems slightly better than average in this game. So
like I said, we're gonna roll for build points once turn. So at the start of the command phase, the light side player is gonna roll a die, and each player is gonna have that amount of build points per turn. You can only play light versus dark decks in this game. Yeah.
Unfortunately, so
it probably is bad compared to the Cypher Star Wars game.
I hated this game when it came out, and I wanted to try to give it another fair shake. Here, basically.
And we're gonna approach this from a neutral standpoint. We don't make judgments afterwards. Actually, I'm kind of excited for this game. I'll tell you why in a second. But so you roll for build points, and so in this case, I rolled a 6. So we each have 6 build points to spend, which is how we play cards from our hand. And if you control a unit, and if each player, if they control a unit in each zone, they get 1 extra build point. So if we had a guy in each zone, then in this case I'd have 7. So on my turn, if I want to build a unit, I place it face down, much like Battletech, and I can spend build points on it. So I can spend 6 on this guy, and then I can play this guy, and I can put it in play for 2.
Star Wars Pocket Model TCG list.
What?
So it's basically like the Pirates game, right?
Okay.
But it was like Star Wars stuff. I don't know when that. I actually have no idea when that came out. I think that came out at a time when I wasn't working in a game store, which is like a very narrow window in my life currently. But I never actually got a chance to play that game.
And then, okay, so I put 6 build points on this guy and 1 on this guy. So I can turn this guy face up since his build cost is 6, and I can deploy him to the area.
Okay.
Like that. And this can remain, it can have more build points on it than if you want to bluff or something.
Yeah, I don't know why though, but
there might be ways to spend build points or move them around. Who knows? There could be cards that
we're not aware of in the game. So.
Yeah, but this could remain for next turns where I sort of have progress toward it.
Yeah,
to building it,
and that's kind of like BattleTech, where you could save progress from turn to turn. So,
and so that's how you do
2005, 2006.
That's how you deploy stuff. There are also 2 other types of cards. So you've seen units. I think there's 3 total types of cards. There are missions. Those are the yellow cards. They're always horizontal. Missions have a cost, which is in the top left. This one is a dash. I don't know why it's a dash. It probably says why it's a dash. Oh, it's a 1. Sorry, that's a 1 because you hold it right side up.
Yeah,
and you build them just like you would units. You put them face down, and you can play them during your command phase. This one says, search your deck. You may take a card from your deck with the same name as one of your units in any arena, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Cost 1. Search your deck for a duplicate. The Star Wars Miniatures game, D20 systems. Yes, we did play that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've actually, I have some of those. I don't think our setup would really work for that game. But I do have
smallish arena, right?
I've got some of those laying around still.
And then
from a friend gave them to me to sell. I sold part of them, but I never finished selling the rest of them. And I never had a chance to sell them off. So
the last type of card is a battle card, and these can only be played during battle. Most of them have force costs, so this is how you kind of get in a hidden edge during battle. They do different things based on what the card says. So. This one says, pay 2 force. One of your units gets critical hit 2 for this attack. So it does 2 more damage if you roll at least 1 natural 6. And with that, we can start. Let's start rolling dice.
Okay. So there is a big there is a big setup phase to the game.
Yeah, we'll walk through that together because it's. I read through it. I was like, "What did I just read?" But it's not as complicated, I think, as it sounds.
Yeah.
Was there another Star Wars mini game that came out? Not Fantasy Flight. I guess it was just.
You had Imperial Assault,
right,
and then you had Legion.
Right. I mean, not those.
Oh, and then there was
before those.
There was
Fantasy Flight got it.
The Wizards of the Coast.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah. It was basically an analog to their D&D game.
Yeah. Okay.
There were like some minor differences, but
I mean, Fantasy Flight has done really good stuff with that. I mean, the Imperial Assault skirmish mode is very fun and very good. It just didn't quite take off because it's like such an investment for.
Yeah, I think a lot of people looked at it as Star Wars Descent, but they also like had serving dual purposes.
Yeah, because it had skirmishing and there were tournaments for it, like a Gen Con. They were pretty popular.
Yeah, but I imagine Legion kind of annihilated any. I think it had waned long before then, but Legion kind of put all that to bed.
Did, so. Yeah. They're not producing for Imperial Assaults anymore, which is a shame. But I think there's like enough content for that game, and with the digital app. It's still they can do whatever they want with it,
right? By
creating new scenarios and stuff.
When the decks are this small, I feel like I have to shuffle it a million times.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't get like a good shuffle on it.
So we have these decks, and we have decks from like the New Hope set.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play these, and we'll play those. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how fast games will go. It probably just depends on how violent.
The demo game we played at Gen Con so many years ago.
It was Origins.
Oh, you're right. It was Origins, yeah. When we played it at Origins.
It must have been in 2003 or 2002, right? We played with this exact set, with this exact demo set.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then it had to have been 2002. It had to have been 2003.
Yeah, well, I think it was 2003 then.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah. We've come so far. So the way the demo worked is, for the first game in this demo, you just like take the top 7 cards and deploy them, and it basically makes you go through a round of battle. And I rolled like all hits against Nathan and just like wiped him off the board, and the guy demoing the game was like, I have never seen that happen.
Yeah, I was like, well, this game sucks.
Yeah.
This demo was awful.
I was like, woo, this is fun.
I was like, this game is pretty terrible. Guess what I'm going to do? Never play it again.
Yep, and you didn't, until now.
Yeah, but I'm a liar.
Okay, so you draw 7 cards. And then, gotta look at the setup. Make sure we're doing this right. I'll say this rulebook is okay laid out for a rulebook that came out when it did. It's not too bad. All right, so if I can find it, there it is. Starting with the dark side player. Oh, there can be a mulligan. So you can discard any number of battle and mission cards. Player takes a mulligan, chooses a number of mission cards and battle cards, discards them, and then draws that many cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
I will do that as well because I think I would definitely want to hit the number of units.
Yeah, you don't want to be under the number.
So I'm discarding 2 and drawing 2.
All right, discard 4. All right, so the dark side player chooses 1 unit in their hand and puts it into battle, and then draws a card to replace it. So I will put this battle droid squad into play and draw a card. The light side player chooses and puts units into battle 1 by 1, drawing a card to replace each one put into battle. This continues until the total build cost of units on the light side is more than the total on the dark side. Then the dark side player chooses and puts units into battle 1 by 1, drawing a card to replace each one. This continues until the total build cost of units in the dark side is more than the total of the light side. Repeat these steps until the total build cost of one of the player's units reaches 30. Then the other player reaches 30.
Okay.
If you can't get to 30, you can build your last card by showing it to your opponent and putting build counters on it up to 30.
Okay. So, you played something that costs 2. I'm going to play the N1 Starfighter,
okay.
Which costs 2. So I get to play, and I draw.
Yep.
So I'm going to get to play another unit because I need to exceed yours. So I am gonna play Padme for 3. So I'm at 5 right now.
Okay. So you're 5.
Draw.
I'll play this Techno Union Starship for 6.
Oof.
It's a beefy boy. It's about 8 total.
Yeah. Okay. 8 total. I am gonna play a speeder bike. Going to 7 and draw. And I will build the Corellian Star Shuttle, putting me at 11. And I will draw.
Alright, so I will play Zam Wessel.
Zam.
Whoever that is. Some bounty hunter. Is it the changeling?
It's the lizard chick, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Arguably the most...
I think he's a she, but I think she's a changeling. In that case, be extra careful.
Arguably the most advantageous skill an assassin could possibly have.
Yeah.
According to Red Letter Media.
So that's 11. And then I'll play this Genosian fighter for 3. I'm at 14.
Okay. At 11, I'm gonna play another swoop bike, putting me to 13, and then I'm gonna play Obi-Wan, putting me to 17. I guess I get to draw between these. Okay, go ahead.
Obi-Wan at 17. Yeah, I'm at 14. We'll play Genosian Warrior and I'm at 17. Go to 21 with Genosian Squad.
Okay. Okay, so I'm at 17. I am going to go to I'm gonna spend 6 to go to 23. You were at what? 21?
I think so.
21, yeah. Okay, so I'm at 23. I'm gonna play the Naboo Cruiser. And draw.
About Darth Tyrannous here. I go 28.
Okay.
Do you lose if you deck out? That's a great question.
Yeah.
I do not know the answer to. I don't think so. I didn't come across that. But it's certainly possible, I think, with these small decks. You only draw 1 card a turn, though.
So you're at 28. I will go to 26 and play an Elite Jedi Squad. Then I will go to 30 to play Corellian Star Shuttle.
Oh, geez.
Draw.
So you're at 30, so I have to go to 30. I'm at 28 right now. I actually don't have anything for 2, so I just have to put a unit to build I'll shoot this Droid Starfighter Squadron, which is a 40 speed, 3 power, 3 health guy.
Yep.
But 2 build.
Okay. Okay.
And then you go. We now play the game.
All right.
So first you untap. Normally you have to tap to attack stuff, so that's how you do that. Game force. Each of us go to 4 force. Draw a card. Each player draws a card. Command starts.
Okay. So I roll the die to determine how many build points we have.
Yep.
We have 3.
Okay.
So 3 build points.
And you get an extra 1 for having a unit in each place.
So we go to 4. 4 build points.
And I think the dark side. Yeah, the dark side builds first. Okay. So.
Oh, here's the force icon I lost earlier.
You found it.
That's a callback. I seeded that joke much earlier in the stream.
I'll build this for 4, and then I'll deploy it. The Genosian squad.
Okay.
Squadding up. And that's it.
Alright, so I've got 4. I am going to play... I'm going to spend 4 for the clone platoon. Send in the clones. Those Laffy Daffy clones. Alright.
So you're done building?
Yep.
Now we have the retreat step. You do have an option to tap a guy and bring him back to your build area.
Is it 1 unit or is it
any number of units from any zone, from all
Okay.
your zones? Dark side does theirs first, then light side does theirs.
Okay.
So you can like pull out of the zone if you think they're just gonna get slaughtered. And then during your build step, you can put guys back in the zone.
Gotcha. Can you elect not to deploy people?
Yes.
Okay.
But I will not retreat anything.
Okay.
Because it's cowardly.
Yeah, that does seem pretty cowardly.
All right, then we go to the space battle.
Okay.
So combat, we look at speed. Whoever has the highest speed can strike first.
Yeah. So I've got a 60 on my starfighter.
60 is the fastest.
Okay. It is going to try to strike your Genosan fighter.
Okay. So you get 1 extra build point for having a unit in each area.
So I can play something before this attack, correct?
Yes.
I can play a battle before this attack, right?
Yeah.
I will play Master and Apprentice. This costs 3 force, so I go down to 1. And I can, up to 2 of my units get +2 power until the end of the battle.
Okay.
It just says units, so I assume that means to everything. So even though this card says Master and Apprentice, I can apply it targeting anything.
I think so.
So I'll just put this here as a reminder that the Starfighter has +2 power, and then this Corellian Star Shuttle has +2 power.
We do have these power tokens.
Oh yeah, I guess we could use that. That'll work.
Turns out Keyforge tokens are good for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can use them in a lot of different ways. Okay, so the N1 Starfighter is going to attack the Genosan fighter, hopefully destroying it before you can strike. So it is 2 power base and then the +2 power from the Master and Apprentice, so I'll get to attack. So I'm looking for 4 ups, a hit. So I've got 2 hits, which will destroy the fighter, barring any kind of cards.
Yep, it is destroyed.
All right. The Naboo Defense Forces have successfully stopped that Genosan fighter. Okay.
All right. Next highest speed
is your 30.
My 30. Okay. This boy is large.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna try to attack this thing.
Okay.
Roll 6 dice. He's got 4 health.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and pay 1 force to give him +2 power for the attack. So we're just gonna roll 8 dice here.
Okay. So 5 hits.
5 hits.
The Corellian Star Shuttle goes down. Now, the Corellian Star Shuttles do have an ability that says tap and draw a card. It says play only during your build step. Since we were having a battle there, I elected not to use that ability then.
That's probably not worth using that.
If I control space, then I can use it to draw, right? Because I get the second action. I can see what you do, so I can then choose to draw. Okay. So 20 now. The Krellian Star Shuttle.
You're free to.
Yeah. This Krellian Star Shuttle is going to attack the Techno Union ship. 3 power. 1 hit. The Naboo cruiser is going to attack for 6.
Jeez.
And 1 hit. Excellent rolling. Okay. Space is finished. Move to the ground combat. Okay, so we start. I've got.
I think all your guys are attacking before mine. Yep.
Yep. So speed 50 on the swoop bikes. This swoop bike is going to attack the Genosian squad there. It's got power 2. So hits that squad for 1.
6s don't do anything unless they have the ability of critical hit.
Yeah, so Justin Starfighter had critical hit. The Genosian squad has critical hit of 3. My Jedi squad say critical hit 2. So all right, so now I have to make a choice. I guess this swoop bike will attack the Genosian squad. Power 2. No hits. So going to 40, I guess we'll do the... if I roll a 6, I just straight up kill a Genosian squad. So I'll send the elite Jedi squad after the undamaged Genosian squad. We'll see if this is a mistake.
You get 3.
We get 3 dice from the elite squad. They do have critical hit too. Looking for a 6. Got a 6. So ends up taking 4 damage because of the critical hit too. Those bug guys get what they deserve.
It is at least 1 6, so it's if 2 6s don't matter, but the other 6 is a hit.
Yeah.
They're both hits, and then you get the critical hit damage.
Right. So it's not 6 damage, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this clone platoon is going to attack the Genosian squad with 4. See if I can finish that squad off. 2 hits, so that will finish them off.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I guess these battle droids try to kill Swoop Bike.
All right.
With our slow 10. Rolling 2 dice. Nope.
They don't.
No, sir. Okay, well, all right. Moving on to characters.
We get to the part of the movie where Darth Tyrannous kills Obi-Wan.
Oh, boy. So, I have 2 50s. I have 2 50s, you have a 50.
Yeah.
Dark side breaks ties. I think it then goes back to light side.
Is it like you strike, I strike, you strike?
Let me see. The trouble is finding where it says that.
Yeah. I can look at the other. Let's see if this smaller rulebook is more concise.
You sound like Poe. Who's hanging up first? I hang up first?
How to it. Okay.
The dark side wins ties. If both players want to do something at the same time, such as attack, when 2 or more units have the same speed, the dark side goes first.
Okay.
I think it's just period.
Okay.
In that case, time to destroy Padme. Perhaps. She had 3 health?
Yes. A measly 3 health. Speed seems to be king in this.
Yeah, I no kidding. You obliterated me in other areas.
Yeah.
Alright.
You have to have like so many hit points or have enough speed that you can just walk it off. These can only be used once a turn, right?
I think as much as you have force.
Okay.
So if you had 4 force, you could do that twice, I believe. Yeah, so Tyrannous is gonna send 6 dice at Padme.
Well, so the reason I ask is because that is pay 2, evade 2. This is pay 1, evade 1, and it wouldn't make sense because you would pay 2 to evade 2. The only difference is Obi-Wan could only ever pay 2 to evade 2.
Oh.
So Tyrannous is 3 for 3.
Right. I don't know, man. Don't worry about it. 2 hits.
Okay, so Tyrannous was attacking Padme?
Yeah.
Okay, so she takes 2.
And then I have another 50, so the Trojan Warrior will attack Padme as well.
Okay.
Padme's dead.
Padme is dead. Okay, so Padme doesn't get to throw any attacks there. Padme gets fridged here.
And then 40 speed. They're tied, so I break ties, so Zam Wessel will attack Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Can't actually kill him, but does 2 damage.
2 damage to Obi-Wan. Alright.
Some damage tokens.
Oh, sorry.
Dice are illegal.
Dice are illegal. Alright. Obi-Wan is going to get revenge, I guess, on the Genosian warrior.
Okay.
He's got 4. So he will kill the Genosian warrior with 3 hits. Alright. That's the end of the turn.
That's the end of the turn.
Start of the turn, we untap, right?
Yep.
Untap. We draw.
Yep.
We gain force.
Go to 4. Or get 4 force.
Yeah, so I'm up to 5. Okay. And then I roll a die to see how many points. It is 2. We both get the extra point for occupying each zone, so up to 3. Okay. And
I think he didn't have enough force to evade on Obi-Wan.
I had 1 force, yes. I spent 3 on the action, so I only had 1, so I couldn't evade with Obi-Wan because I got to pay the 2. Yeah. I would like to have prevented that damage, but... yeah.
I'll build 2 on this thing.
Dreamblade, was that...
And to play this with the last.
Dreamblade was a WotC game too, right? That was the one that was like, it had like all kinds of different types of monsters in it.
I played all of a droid at the Starfighter Squadron.
Dreamblade was a really cool game that didn't catch the audience. There's like all kinds of games from that time period, especially miniatures games that were trying to cash in on like the HeroClix craze. Man, there's like we could probably fill months worth of content for failed WotC games between the years of like 2002 to like 2016 or something.
Yeah, probably
with all kinds like Hecatomb and yeah, there's all kinds of games that they tried in that time period. So I am going to spend the 3 for the Jedi Starfighter.
Oh geez. Okay.
I've gotta finish the fight up here in space.
All right. Well, retreat time. I might just retreat this droid.
Oof.
Because he's extra dead.
Right. That's right. Get out of here, droid.
He's extra dead.
Run, droids.
Yeah, he's super dead.
Yep.
And you can retreat if you want.
Is Obi-Wan super dead?
Probably.
I don't think Obi-Wan is super alive. So yeah, Obi-Wan's gonna retreat.
Okay. So now basically you win if you kill these guys.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the question is, can I kill these guys?
No, your dice rolls will tell you.
I am going to spend 2 force here. Down to 3 force, and it says pay 2 force, choose an arena. I choose space. Each of my units in that arena gets plus 20 speed until the end of the battle.
Jeez, okay.
The Starfighter. So I get This is 2. That's like an average of 1. This is 3, which is like an average of 1.5.
You're applying too much math, Nathan.
I'm sorry.
This game is not about math. It's about rolling dice.
Do I try to... Do I try to finish this off before you get to attack with it? You can't. Or do I try to finish this off? I think I have a decent chance of finishing that off. No, I don't think I do. The Starfighter's going to attack your droid Starfighter Squadron. So +2 calculus. So 1 damage to the droid Starfighter. This is 70 speed, so it will attack the droid Starfighter. I've got 3 coming at you. 2 hits. We'll finish it off. Okay. This is 40 speed now, so it's going to attack your Union ship. Attack it for 3. 2 hits. And then this is 30, that's 30.
6. I guess I attack. I can't really kill that. It's 7 health, so even if I hit every attack, it's not going to kill it. So I'll attack this thing.
Sure. For 3, the Jedi Starfighters are destroyed.
Bang.
Okay, and here we come. The Naboo cruiser, who averaged 1 hit last time. Two hits, and that'll finish it off.
So, there's no battle here, there's no battle here. You control 2 zones, you win the game.
Yep.
That's the game.
There you go.
That's it.
I feel like this game... So, my big complaint with these starters is that these units are completely...
They're blank.
Flavorless.
Yeah, they're just blank.
The
guys.
Jedi have some cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
But Padme is like blank.
Right as Padme have no abilities, right?
Padme is blank AF.
Yeah. Like,
what is happening here? Swoop Bike is flavorful because it has like 1 hit point.
Yeah, and it's fast.
And it's fast, I guess.
That's fine.
The Jedi Squad critting, I guess that's alright, but like clone platoon? Like what why can't I pay resources to restore health on this or something?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, this card...
They didn't put a lot of thought into the starters. That's for sure.
Yeah, so like if this was like my first experience with the game, if I didn't know there were other stuff in the game, I would be really disappointed. You know, that was like one of the things about the Cypher Star Wars card game.
Everything
flavor. Did what it did in the movie to its own detriment because it was like so complicated.
He did not win the Star War, just the Star Battle. All right, so we'll move on to the...
I won the Space War and the Ground War.
Yeah, not the character war. Darth Tyrannous.
Darth Tyrannous killed Padme and forced Obi-Wan to run away, so...
You just do whatever with those. We're never touching them again. So.
I'll stick them over here. All right. We were hoping that these starters were better because that played out about how I remembered, where it's just like
one-sided and
not particularly fun.
Yeah.
Now we got a real Star Wars movie as the basis for this film.
It looks like these have abilities, so that's something.
Yeah, like these aren't all blank. This guy taps to do something. This guy can pay force. Obi-Wan's got 1, 2 abilities. He's got another one. This guy's got abilities. There's 2 Lukes in here that have abilities. Luke Speeder's got an ability. Like this card is blank. It's just like a speeder. But it's something that you can use, like, because there's like pilots in this one that can go pilot other stuff. So even though this card is blank, it does something because you can put people onto it.
Right.
So yeah, this is, I guess, just a big unit. That has abilities. Yeah. That was...
Uh-oh. The Stormtrooper gets -2 power if it's attacking a unique character. How thematic. That's pretty great.
That's pretty funny. Shiny cards. I got shiny Luke. You want to see this shiny
There's
Luke?
a shiny Luke, yeah.
Once again, I think this is like, I don't know why this picture of Luke.
That's super weird. I have a Vader in here somewhere.
Like, I don't get it at all.
Here, look at this cool shiny Vader.
That was not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's an alright Vader shot. These did come out after the episode 2. I think the premiere set was Clone Wars. I don't know when these are printed.
See if there's any clue to its origin. It says copyright 2002, but I doubt that's when this came out. So I think they went through the whole prequel trilogy.
The card game lasted until 2005, so I mean it had somewhat of a lengthy run.
No, it does not say. So I would not honestly be surprised if the first set was like rushed out the door.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like we gotta get this out before episode 2 comes out, kind of thing.
Or just like in conjunction with it.
Yeah.
And so that's why that it just feels kind of unfinished, and there's like no real abilities on anything. So
FFG will make another Star Wars LCG at some point. I certainly, I hope so. I'm apprehensive.
I
to say
keep
yes.
waiting for the day when Fantasy Flight has lost the Star Wars license.
Yeah,
that's honestly.
I feel like it's gonna happen at some point.
Because at this point, as somebody who's been an FFG fan for quite some time, I just. They ended so many of their other Star Wars games, right? Because like Imperial Assault is essentially done.
Destiny was kind of nowhere too.
Yeah. Destiny was kind of done. The LCG made sense because it had just been kind of limping along for a while.
And I think Destiny was in development by that point.
But like they're barely making anything for the RPG, and then they fired all their RPG creators. So it just doesn't seem like they're in a place where they're like trying to make any new Star Wars products.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So it almost seems like either intentional or they're just like preparing for the license to be revoked at any time. So yeah, X-Wing's still popular, but it's nowhere near where it was at its height when they did the second edition. And I mean, famously, the Netrunner second edition had like just been launched. They had like basically revamped the game when they lost the license to Netrunner.
Oh.
So just because they made a second edition of something doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be around for quite some time. So okay, so same thing.
I mean, I think a co-op Star Wars game would be cool.
I would love to see one like that.
Yeah.
So 7.
All right, so we can do our thing. We can do a mulligan.
I have all units, which seems good.
Yeah. All right, I will not mulligan either. I think Dark Side deck should have a red saber. Yeah. I get. Well, there are neutral cards that can go to either deck, so that you can't change the backs. I think.
Yeah, and the saber is up here, right?
Yeah, the top right of the card has the affiliation. Yeah. All right, I will play.
I honestly wonder if there wasn't like mathematically best units to play in this game.
Oh, there has to be, right? I'll play a TIE Fighter. Okay. It's got critical hit 2, it's 50 speed, 2 power, 2 health. I mean, that's
about right. It's all right.
I can look at how piloting works. I'll probably need one of these. They claim they're really ramping up Armada and X-Wing, but they go to the network. Yeah. Armada, I'm kind of surprised does well because
it's honestly Armada was just like a steady seller.
Really,
I think you have people who like, for instance, I think there were people
and the ships look just amazing.
I bet there were people who bought the Executor just because it was
I almost did, yeah,
just because it's so sweet. It looks awesome on a shelf.
Yeah, that's
like that. I would not be.
I wanted that, and I wanted Thrawn's ship just to have.
Yeah, the Chimera.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I am going to play a Rebel Trooper. Now, this Rebel Trooper, I can pay 2 force and intercept. So if a unit is attacking one of my characters in the same arena as this unit, it now attacks him instead. So the Rebel Trooper can jump in front of attacks. I do feel like that was something that was missing in that set.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 2. So I draw, and then I can play something else. I will... Oh, that seems good. I will play the Incom T16 Skyhopper, which I used to bullseye Womp Rats in. This is got accuracy 1 on it. It says add +1 to each of this unit's attack dice. So I guess it hits on 3 pluses.
Oh, used to bullseye Womprats in my T16 back home.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly.
That's why, because it was giving you extra.
You got all kinds of extra accuracy. So
okay, so you're at 5.
Yes.
This is kind of the most fun part of the game.
The setup, yeah, like trying to. I think this game would be complete garbage if it wasn't for this phase, because you basically set up like a horrible.
You'd have to completely change how building works.
Yeah,
because it's like if some person gets behind, there's no way for them to get back in the game through building. It seems like. All right, I'll go to 6 with the Stormtrooper squad. Okay, it's generic. 20 speed, 4 power, 2 hit points.
I mean, you can't build something. You can't make something like Wrath of God in this game, right? So
yeah, no.
Like, how do you make anything balanced? Okay. I will. So you're at 6. I will go to 10 and play red 1.
Okay.
And draw. And red 1 says when this unit attacks, you may give it +3 power for that attack, and if you do, it does 2 damage to itself when the attack ends.
Yeah, Star Wars unique deck game. It has to be done a certain way, because you can't do what you would do in Keyforge, where a character can appear multiple times in the deck. It's like for Star Wars, it doesn't quite work the same way Keyforge would, so it's tough.
Yeah.
The problem with unique deck games is like you got to have a world like Keyforge.
Yeah,
and Keyforge works great for that, but you can't just throw any IP at it.
Right.
And now if you wanted to do crazy crap like make a Keyforge set that is Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and you could do that and it would not be out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Destiny's shell would work for other games.
Yeah, you can have Lord of the Rings Destiny.
Yeah. You could make you could set other games in that setting.
I feel like they're gonna avoid more Destiny games just because of the cost of development.
Yeah,
the clunkiness of like as a person who bought everything, storage was a nightmare.
It was probably
still takes
one of
up way too much space.
Yeah, it was probably one of the worst games to store that I've ever played.
Yeah, so you played 5, so you have 10.
Yep.
All right, I'll go to 9 with another Stormtrooper squad. I might be in trouble. I'll go play another TIE Fighter.
Okay, so you're at 11.
This little baby TIE Fighter, yep.
X for 2. Okay. I am going to play the Rebel squad for 2. That puts me to 12. We're at 11. Okay. So I will draw.
I'll go to 14 with this Death Star squad. Guard squad.
Death Star Guard squad.
Death Star Guard squad. That's another dork.
I will play the X-Wing attack formation. 11, 14, 18. So I'm at 18.
At 14, I will play Mounted Stormtrooper. It costs 4. He's 10 speed, 4 power, 5 health. He can discard from the ground area to show one of your partially built Stormtrooper character cards to your opponent. Put 2 build counters on it. Play during your build step. So, like, if he's about to die,
you could
generate resources for you, I guess. So I'm at 18. Then I'll play.
He jumps off the mount.
Yeah. Draw card. I will play TIE Fighter Pilot over here. Draw card. I go 20. During the build step, pilots can get in stuff. So once during the build step, a pilot can move.
Oh, okay, cool. So he can jump into one of the TIE fighters to get in. You're at how much?
20.
I will go to 24 and play Obi-Wan Kenobi here.
Oh god, the TIE Fighter pilot.
He's speed 40. You can pay 2 to evade 2. You can pay 1 to intercept. And when a character is discarded from the arena, you get +4 force. So when the Rebel Trooper jumps in front of Obi-Wan and dies, I get 4 force.
Well, I'm just gonna play this Devastator. It costs 9.
Okay.
It's got shield 1, so each unit gets -1 power as long as it's attacking Devastator.
Jeez.
And as long as it's attacking a Rebel space unit, it gets +2 power. And it's 8/8. So yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's it. I'm at 29.
Okay. Yay. 11. I do hate this constantly counting.
Yeah,
11 because I like lose
I feel like
track.
you need to like have a dice or something.
Yeah, just like a D30 that you're counting up on. So 11, 16, 18, 24. I'm gonna play the Rebel Control Post. And this says I can tap it to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. I could choose any number of space unit cards there and put them into your discard pile, and then put the rest back on top of the deck in order. I play only when this unit would attack. So I can like use this to filter out your space units, which is interesting. And draw. I am going to show you this Rebel Guard Squad. This puts me at 29, so I'm going to show you this Rebel Guard Squad to put 1 point on them. I'm at 30 now.
I'll show you this Death Star Guard Squad to put 1 point on them.
Yeah.
And draw. Okay, so now we begin the game.
Untap.
Yes.
And
Draw.
7, draw 8. Okay.
Okay. And you roll for build points.
Okay, and build points. 4, and we've got 1 in every zone, so 5.
Pilots. Let's see it. I think they just give it its pilot ability.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so I do my building first. I'll build this Dianoga for 5.
Okay.
I can tap it to choose an untapped character with power 4 or less, and play it only during battle.
Okay, cool. So you can use it to tap one of my guys down.
Yeah.
So.
And I will put this Starfighter pilot on a TIE Fighter. Put it on this guy. And it gives the Starfighter +1 power.
Okay. Okay, so the TIE Fighter there has got +1. Okay. I've got 5. I'm going to be fighting for my life everywhere. I will... we gotta bring these guys in. I think I play this gold squadron. Bring them in for 5. Y-wing gold squadron. They can intercept, and they also have critical hit 1.
Are we going space? You want to retreat anything?
No, let's fight.
All
let's
right.
Go. Let's effing go.
So I got 60. I think is the highest here. Yeah, where you have a 60 as well. So I will. It's got 2 health. I'm gonna do stay sharp. Stay 2 force. One of your units gets +1 power and critical hit 1 for this attack.
Okay.
So it's got +1, 2, 3 power right now, and 4 power.
So 4 power?
Yeah.
I am going to play Stabilized Deflectors. I pay 2 force, and each of my starships gets 1 shield until the end of the turn.
Okay, so that means I will roll 1 less dice.
Yep.
Okay, so it's going to attack.
All right. Who is it attacking?
This guy.
I want to pay that 2 force to intercept so that I can maybe... yeah, I guess so. I will spend 2.
Destiny is 1,000 times better than this game. Yeah.
I will spend 2 to have this intercept.
Okay, so it attacks that instead?
Yeah. I hope it doesn't die, but... so it takes 3.
Critical hit 1. Yeah, so it takes 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so it does survive the attack. and keeps you from blowing this up.
Yep.
So okay.
So now your 60 can go.
Yeah. Now the question is, do I give it +3 attack and blow it up basically? Oh yeah.
Please. Dice are illegal.
Dice are illegal.
Dice as counters.
I have to roll them and knock the damage counters off. Okay, well these are all blank now. Let's put my hand down. Do I want to trade? That's critical hit too. Seems bad. I need both of these to attack that Devastator. I don't have a way to keep this alive though if I bungle it. But well, you'd have to roll a 6 and another hit. So I think that's like less than a 30% chance for you to kill either one of these. You're probably targeting this just to try to finish it off, maybe. So I guess I will have this fight that.
Okay.
Okay. 2 hits, so got it. All right. Now, do we fight this Devastator or do I just... Yeah, man, we fight the Devastator. Yeah, this guy definitely fights it because this has critical hit 3.
Oh, yeah.
So the X-Wing attack formation is going to attack the Devastator. It's only 3 power, right? Because you've got shields 1.
Yep.
So looking for 6. 6 would be really nice. Okay, 1 hit. All right, and then the Gold Squadron is going to attack the Devastator. It also has 3 dice. The 3 hits, but no crits there. So
okay, Devastator gets +2 power while attacking a Rebel Space Unit.
Yeah, these are all
That's
rebels.
a Rebel Space Unit. That's a Rebel Space Unit. I guess I'll go after this one.
Sure. So 9.
10 dice here.
It's all my guys have shield 1.
All
Yeah.
right, so I get
Till the
9
end of the turn.
dice here.
1 white die. Barely.
4 hits. Yeah.
Okay, you do take it out. So
Bang. Blasted out of the sky.
destroyed.
Okay, so that is the space battle.
Okay, space battle resolved.
Now into the ground battle. I have very slow dudes here.
Okay, so I got 50. I don't think I want those stormtrooper squads really to fire. Oh god, you're just gonna cut me to pieces. Yeah, okay, so I guess this Skyhopper is gonna go after the squad there. Excuse you, Eddie. Edward.
Let's go.
Edward Doggo. You're allowed to leave the room. You're allowed to check it out. You go. Okay. It's gonna go after that stormtrooper squad. So 2 hits because of the accuracy 1. Okay. Eddie, go check it out.
Alright.
So accuracy 1 there from the Skyhopper makes this 3 hit. So that does take it out. And then you begin shooting.
It's like about my 20s.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very much alive when you begin to shoot me.
This is you don't have any force. Okay. So this we'll send this 4 dice at this guy.
Okay. Two hits, huh?
Yep.
Guess he's dead.
And plays card to pay 2 force to give one of my ground units +4 power for this attack.
Oof.
So I'm gonna give this Death Star Guard squad +4 power as he attacks the rebel control post.
Okay, so 7 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
3
3.
hits.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
We're alive.
And then 10s. So my mounted stormtrooper will attack that guy.
Okay. Okay. Hold.
He's dead.
Okay. Here.
There.
Oh,
so I'm gonna take an action to tap the trooper.
okay.
This is a tap to
Play
choose.
only during battle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Obi-Wan's going to attack the Dianaga.
Okay.
For 3.
Okay.
All right. And that's that.
That is that.
Okay. Ready up. For force, draw. Oh god.
Roll die.
Build points. I think I want this to be low. Ah, yeah. Psychically. Okay. All right. You build first.
Well, I'll spend these. Yeah. No. I will build. That's it.
Okay. I will. This was. Okay, so I'll spend 1 to finish the Rebel Squad. I guess we'll throw them in there. Meat grinder. And then I'll spend 1 on this thing. So send them to the meat grinder.
You want space?
Go to space.
All right. You got a thing?
Nah.
No? Okay. So this guy?
Yep.
I will attack with 4 power, 3 power. I gotta attack with this.
Okay.
Bang, bang, bang.
I believe. Wait for me to save this. It is dead. Okay, a red 1. I just crash it in the Devastator there. I just give it the +3, knowing it's going to explode. I cannot, like, I will not survive. Is it worth? Is it worth using this? I guess so. I think, okay. I'll play Stay Sharp.
Okay.
Spend 2 force. Give it +1 power, so and then I'm gonna use it to give it +3. So 3, 6, 7, 6. So 6 dice. And it's got critical 1. And then after the attack it will explode.
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay, so 4 hits with critical 1 is 4 damage, which does blow up the Devastator. Right? You were at 4. You take another 4.
Yeah. Yep. Well.
Okay. Ugh. All right, now these guys just gotta hang on.
Crash right into the docking or the bridge.
Yeah.
Too late.
Pull up.
All right.
Intensify fire to 4 batteries.
Green man's. So you got your dude, your
The Skyhopper.
Yeah, Skyhopper.
All right, my Skyhopper is going in versus the Stormtrooper squad. Okay.
Okay.
2 coming at you. Hit, please. Please. Oh no, only 1 damage. Only 1 damage.
All right, it's time. All right, I'm gonna use the Stormtrooper squad to attack this thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna use air cover, so one of ground units gets +3 power for the attack. Play only if you have more units in the space area than your opponent. So I have 7.
Okay. Yeah.
That's 2 hits.
Guess he's alive because I'm playing Luke's Warning. Pay 2 force to prevent up to 3 damage to one of my characters or 1 damage to one of my space or ground units. So
okay.
It'll take 1. Just need you to miss. Yeah, I'm using illegal dice again. Okay.
Alright, so
Hold.
Death Star Guard Squad.
Hold.
We'll attack the guy.
Okay.
3.
Oh, we're alive. We live. Okay, the Rebel squad's gonna attack the Stormtrooper squad. 1 damage, that's enough to finish it off. Okay.
I will attack the T16 and give it +3 power.
Okay.
Air cover.
Okay.
So I get 7. The 3 hits.
It is very dead.
Okay. Ground.
Okay. You got anything?
I guess not, because it doesn't matter if I tap the rebel right now.
Okay.
So you can attack.
Obi-Wan's gonna attack.
Yeah.
It's got 5 dice. You could just cut this die Naga in half for me. Thank you.
He's dead. Dead to Naga.
This guy doesn't get to do anything. Okay. Force. Hanging on. Barely hanging on. Draw a card. Ooh. Barely hanging on.
Yep. Alright.
I need this to be a particular number.
A noble number.
A very particular number.
4.
That is not the number.
We both get 4 because neither of us have a full
Yep.
area.
That was not the number. Yeah, I'm gonna build this thing. Oh, I guess you're first.
Oh yeah. Okay, so 4. I'll spend 3 and build this thing. This carrot cruiser.
Okay.
40 of 5/5.
Yes.
One more.
The stats are so good.
Good stats, yeah.
The stats are actually insane.
Put 1.
I'll put 4 on this thing.
Okay. Let's go to space. Alright, let's go to ground. Alright, I'll attack you.
Mm-hmm.
3 dice.
Just miss all of them, please.
I did not.
Dang.
Alright. Well,
Dang.
I guess I win.
Yeah. I had this dude I couldn't get into play, the 7/7 speed 40, which I think just mops up everything on the ground if I could get it into play. And then I drew this thing. I have no idea why the ship costs 5. It's 60 speed, yeah, but it's so fragile.
I'm confused on this game.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine spending any money on it.
Right.
And it's interesting, but like, how do you build stuff? You could build like maybe 1 unit a turn. Maybe.
Yes.
So like, how do you get back into a game if you're losing? You
Right.
can't.
Like, you top deck this guy. When do you play this card?
8?
This card
Yeah,
costs 8.
It costs that's like minimum 2 turns, and that's like
It's 2 turns of above average rolling.
yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know if there's any ways to generate resources in the game. Maybe there were
yeah, there could have been.
And then you would like have staple resource cards, but like the fact that resources are static for both players doesn't. I don't know. It's just super weird. It's a weird choice.
Right. Definitely, there's definitely a lot of weird stuff going on in this game.
Yeah.
It's sort of flavorful.
It's kind of flavorful,
but it's not like tactical, right? It's just like whoever had the best numbers won.
Yeah, it's best. It's the best dice rolling. Look how lame this picture is. Look at this stupid idiot.
This is not a bad X-wing picture. You want some X-wing art?
It's not terrible.
But this is not the camera being blurry. Like this card is just blurry.
Blurry card.
It's just like, yeah. I don't know.
There's just like, okay, so the game is just like there's a bunch of numbers, and you can pay stuff to change the numbers around or increase those numbers to decrease your opponent's numbers, but that's not really that interesting, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't quite feel Star Wars enough, right?
Yeah,
like the character fights, like if it's like Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, it should feel like a knockdown, drag out. But
instead
I feel
you're just like, all Obi-Wan's gonna take Vader.
It's like I'll play this card that gives Obi-Wan 4 damage. Obi-Wan attacks. Obi-Wan does 800 damage to Darth Vader.
Yeah,
and that's that. You know,
the difference in like Destiny, everyone has their own die, which is like there's all your flavor in your dice.
Yeah, because you have characters who are like crafty and cunning.
Yeah.
Whereas you know, you have characters that are more like brute force. And in this game,
that felt very flavorful. Man, Destiny was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah,
it sure was good.
And so in this game, it's like you have somebody like Padme who just like doesn't do anything because for whatever reason she's a blank card.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no flavor there at all.
But like all the Jedi, like Vader, look at Vader's powers. A2 force, he gets +2 power for the attack.
Pay 3 evade 3,
which we saw in other cards, right? There's not like a uniquely Vader ability on Darth Vader.
I think you would just find like good return on your card on your value.
Yeah.
Right. There has to be characters who are just like way better than others.
I mean, I feel like you want when you build decks in this game, you probably want mostly 2s through 4s for cost.
Yeah,
like
because you can play them.
Yeah, and you can play them between turns. And
right.
The start of the game is like much more stuff. You're
putting 30 worth on the table at the beginning of the game anyway.
Yeah. So like I don't see why you would play multiple 8s or even very many at all, if any.
I mean, like you have interesting abilities like this card, but it has to use it when it's attacking.
And by then you might be in like a desperate scenario.
Yeah, and you're paying 5 for a 10 speed, which I think has to be the lowest speed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
2 power.
There might be 0 speeds.
Yeah. So there's like the strategy of just like throwing guys in front of this doesn't seem very good
because you're not getting much out of it.
I'm like filtering out the cards on your deck if I could like try to win the space battle. I think one of the problems with this game is that like you have like that air cover card, and that's cool because that makes you want to care about space.
Yeah.
And I have like the one card that makes my ground care about space, but they're very
disconnected otherwise.
Yeah. You know, like I mean, what does this Rebel Trooper do if he's over here in the space or ground combat? It doesn't do anything at all.
Oh, because there's no opposing characters.
Yeah, there's no opposing characters.
And what does he do in real life? He makes a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't. He just watches. He watches all the X-wings get destroyed.
Yeah,
and he watches all of his buddies get destroyed.
There's something missing for sure.
Yeah,
maybe this game was just like thrown together quick.
I feel like it has to have been. This does not feel like a fully fleshed out game to me, honestly. If somebody brought this to me and was like, "Hey, I'm prototyping a game," and they plopped this down in front of me, I'd be like, "This is a really cool start."
Yeah, right.
I want to see where you go with it, kind of thing. Not this is the.
Let me give you some advice. Lose the dice.
Yeah.
Simple in some ways, way too much math for simple dice. Oh yeah, there's like weird amounts of math.
Yeah, well,
especially at the start we were talking about, right?
You're having to do like averages and stuff.
Yeah,
you know? I'm just like, I mean, I think the dice rolling is like the only way that the combat in this game isn't deterministic.
Yeah.
So that I feel is kind of a problem in its own way. Then, because
you have to get back in a game, you have to rely on good dice rolls or bad dice rolls for your opponent.
Yeah,
that's just like that's the comeback mechanic.
There's no catch up mechanic, right? Both those games lasted 3 turns or less.
Yeah. And it was we like maybe deployed 1 unit extra into the space. And giving a unit or putting a unit in space after your opponent has 4 guys there and they just blew up all your stuff and they still have 4 guys there, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Let's say I was building this 8 cost thing. Right? Let's say I was building this, or I guess it's 6 costs. But I'm building this 8 cost thing, okay? Because our space combat's relatively close. And I'm like, I need this to win the combat. I slam 4 counters on this. You wipe me out in space. I have not only lost space, I have wasted the resources on this, because if I put this into space now, it's just dead.
Yeah.
So there's like not nearly enough flexibility in the game. I can't change my game plan, right? My changing my game plan is like, well, I guess that's a sunk cost, and I gotta like build something else.
And then you're just like, oh, I've probably lost in the ground, unless you're already winning those spaces or those areas.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I played that 5 cost ground unit because I thought it was like good on the ground, but its stats are really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. So
I mean, maybe I would like to see what like a constructed deck looks like for this game, because
it's
probably got very few of these cards
right
in it. right?
Yeah. You might have this.
Keep in mind this is a starter deck. There may have been starter Vader, starter Obi-Wan, starter Luke, right?
So this Luke costs 3, is 40 speed, has 2 power and 3 health, which is like not bad. It seems pretty good compared to what we saw cost wise. And it says as long as you have a Jedi in the character arena, Luke gets +2 power and pay 3 evade 1 on it. So like that is a pretty good return on a character if you have another Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose you could mix and match sets, right?
Yeah.
We could take Attack of the Clones. So I could pair Luke up with like the cheap Jedi from Attack of the Clones, so that way he's like kind of he hits outside his weight class. And I feel like that's just the cards you play are the ones that
hit above their weight. Yeah. That's like any card game, right?
Right.
You play the efficient guys.
And there's like no room for these dorks. There's like not enough synergy, right? Like if I got like 2 rebel squads here, what's stopping? Like they should be better
together. Yeah. I wonder if they filled since the design space seems a little bit. Yeah, I think it does seem a bit limited, right?
Yeah.
Is it just like at the end of the
Imagine
day,
the Force isn't in this game. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Force made combat as interesting as it was because we had stuff we could play from our hand and like use some abilities on stuff. But like if the Force is not in this game, like this game is
it's just throw dice.
Yeah, this game is like 1997 levels of complexity. I feel like this is a game that we have been very critical on. And honestly, like Dune had its charms as but it was trying to be its own thing, and this just doesn't feel like a finished product to me.
Yes, I agree. It's like you're right. Dune felt complete. It's just like
clunky. It's clunky, but when we could see where strategy was going in this game. In this game, it's like because you would see in other games, you see a rare. Okay, you play Keyforge and you see Niffle Queen, and it says your other Niffles get +1/+1, and you're like, oh man, I want a deck that's got other Niffles in it. Whether they're good or not, right? You're like, oh, this is a direction to go in the game. All right, but
there's no clear direction. Well, like if you saw a Rebel Trooper that said your Rebel Troopers get +1 power, or your Rebel units get on the ground get +1 power,
yes,
you're like, oh man, I can build a Rebel deck, right?
Yeah. There's not a lot of direction. This guy is a 7/7 for 7, speed 40, right? This doesn't give me a direction to build in.
Yeah. That's not a guy I'd ever make it in a constructed deck, probably.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, you like if you don't play him on your setup when you're playing this guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about most of those expensive guys is like they're only getting played on setup.
Right. I feel like the game is probably already won or lost during most of the setups. I felt like I was not in a good shape on the setup, and I managed to make it closer in space than I thought I was going to make it, based off of the Devastator. And then ground was going about the way I thought it was going to go, but I was hoping to like draw into some ground.
And then it's interesting. It's like if you see your opponent investing heavily in one spot, you can then just ignore it.
Yep, I'll just go one of these other places. Yeah.
Because I didn't have another character. The pilot was all I had in my setup. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna put him there to get a resource first turn, and he's gonna get in the start rider.
Right.
So, yeah.
This game is really. I guess it's like more frustrating than it is interesting because it could have been so much more, and it feels like the turnaround had to have been quick on this game.
Like the design to print.
Yes.
Yeah.
This honestly feels like a design that Garfield probably had laying around.
You think so? It was just like this is BattleTech combined with something.
This is like ideas that didn't make it into other games, and then they just slammed Star Wars on it.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah.
Well, there you go. That was
Star Wars.
Star Wars, the card game.
The card game.
We loved it.
The trading card game.
We really loved it. I had more fun in this stream than I had playing Warhammer Conquest. So there's that.
That's because
I had more fun in the stream than playing Star Wars LCG.
It wasn't. I mean, to be fair, I was nationally ranked. So.
I understand that. I'm very aware of that. Cannot be more aware of that fact.
But yeah, I mean, this game now, as far as games that you could teach to not card game players, I will give this game credit for that.
I still want to, because I mean, judging things based off starter decks is not always the best.
Not always fair
in TCGs, right?
Yeah,
you don't have all the options there.
Yeah,
it's not firing on the maximum fun efficiency.
Right.
So there could have been decks for this that were fun. Maybe competitive was fun for a while. I mean, if it lasted for 3 years, it had to have some kind of audience, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people were just... The problem with Star Wars products are you don't know who's buying Star Wars products who's a Star Wars fan and doesn't really care about the stuff.
They're just buying it to...
They gotta have... They have that part of their brain. And speaking as someone who has been that way for different portions of my life, I will often just buy something that has Star Wars on it because it looks cool, you know, not because of any real desire to own it, you know.
You just want to have it.
It's just the part of my brain that is terminally like 11 that wanted all the cool toys. Like we'll buy it, you know.
Yeah, so. Kids see it in the store, they want to play their Star Wars card game.
This is
a great Star Wars card game for kids, honestly.
The Pokemon game is a great example. Like I can't tell you how many people I've talked to over the years who were like, I didn't know what I was doing with my Pokemon cards.
Well, I didn't know what I was doing with Pokemon cards when I was a kid, and my niece and nephew have Pokemon cards, and like my niece can play because she's old enough, but my nephew,
I like the pictures.
My nephew loves it. Man, he doesn't know how to play.
Yeah,
he probably like can fumble through a game with help, and that's cool. Like I like that Pokemon has that sort of window into card games, and like there's also a very intricate aspect to playing Pokemon as you get older. Like you can build very simple decks to very complex tournament level decks.
Yeah,
so I love Pokemon, the card game, and I'm glad it's lasted so long and evolved.
Yeah, and I think it's a great like gateway.
Yeah, it's a good gateway
into gaming. We could never do a Necromancy on the game because it has never died.
Yeah, we can Necromancy like the first few sets, but that stuff's still very expensive.
Yeah, it's actually crazy expensive because of just the collector aspect to it now, right? You played it as a kid. It's the same thing with like comic books. Various other Magic. I would even argue you have people who buy Magic cards because of the collector aspect. More so, you have people who are like, I can afford this card now.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like, oh man, I could have a Mox. Like I can afford to just have a Mox in my binder.
Yeah,
nowadays, and that the price of those still goes up. So
exactly,
why not?
It's not a foolish investment.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know, but. There we go. Star Wars trading card game.
Next week we're gonna do a doubleheader.
Yes, of games that may or may not be as fun as this.
Okay, I've not experienced either of these games.
Young Jedi's interesting. There's a lot going on, but there's even less happening in that game than this game.
Okay, you know anything about Jedi Knights?
I vaguely remember it being interesting.
Okay.
I wanted to play it more, but nobody... It was...
But also it's ugly as hell.
It is difficult. It is challenging. Its appearance is challenging.
Okay.
It's difficult to find nice things to say about the graphic design of that game. And it's sort of this, like... I have no idea if the people who worked on the game will ever watch the videos on it, right? And I don't want to just be a guy 20 years after the game came out just trashing the game.
Trashing the
graphics in the game.
A lot has been learned about graphic design in 20 years.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing at the time, 20 years ago.
Also, if a graphic designer is still doing graphic design work that had worked on one of these games, they would probably agree that it was shitty.
Yeah. Well, and they probably came a long way, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't look like they did 20 years ago. Yeah.
No.
So I don't ever want our criticism to be kind of like taken way. I joked that like at some point in this, I joked that I thought that graphic design wasn't invented until like 2009. You know, like that was like
look at Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but that's like,
I think that's a great example of good graphic design in 2001.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I think there's some games just didn't invest that much into it.
I think I think it's more of it's the hobby store owner conundrum. You have people who own hobby stores because they enjoy hobbies, but not because they're business people. so they make bad business decisions. People who were designing the games were game designers. They are not graphic artists,
and they
did not employ graphic artists necessarily. So that's why a lot of the games in the 90s look as ugly as they do, because unless they knew somebody who was a talented artist, they may have paid for art, but they did not pay for layout.
Oh, yeah.
And layout and art are not analogous. I mean, I do think layout is an art of its own.
Yeah, and you can't make up for a bad card layout if you have good art.
Yes,
it does not work.
Yeah,
and honestly, card layout can make up for bad art.
I think so. Yeah,
I think an example of awful art, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the game, is in Sentinels of the Multiverse.
But it just doesn't feel quite polished.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not quite.
It does. It feels like your friend who you know is talented, but they got to put in some more work, and they'll get there.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. The game is good.
The game is solid,
and that carried it through.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But it does feel like the art in that game is not quite finished. And that's not me trying to trash the art in it.
No.
And that's me trying to put it delicately. As somebody who, it reminded me of people who drew their own indie comics. And you would go to, as somebody who went to comic conventions, I enjoyed going to like artist alleys and stuff like that and looking around. But you've got the guy who is the pro, and you got the guy who is trying to make it pro, and the Sentinels of the Multiverse of people who are trying to make it pro.
Yeah, and I will say neither of us are artists, and that makes us the premier.
It makes us great people. Yeah,
we're really good at criticizing.
Those who create do,
yeah,
and those who can't criticize.
Exactly.
So there you go. I mean, yeah, as somebody who will never draw, I have made peace with things I will never be, and an artist is one of them.
I can barely write words on a paper.
Yeah,
it looks bad. It looks real bad.
It's not great. Not great.
All right, guys. I guess we're gonna go before we make anyone else mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Right, artists, you're on notice. Writers, you're on notice.
I'm still more upset at card layout being bad versus anything else. Typeface. Yeah. I think there's no excuse for a modern day game, and a lot of modern day games still have bad design.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like Comic Sans is not a font. Okay, let's level. Level. Typographers, you're on notice.
I'm not saying I can design a card because I probably can't, but I can recognize when there's one just like immediately turns me away.
I mean, how many realistically, how many hours do you think we've spent playing card games in our lives? 10,000?
Probably, yeah.
Like, I think that's a fair number.
Yeah. So we know, like, looking at a card, where am I going to look? What's popping out? Right.
Well, I'm holding it in my hand. Right. I'm holding it in my hand. What am I looking at? Like, this game doesn't do too bad, right?
Yeah, sometimes they don't want to pay the artist enough.
You're right. You're not wrong.
They don't want to pay for quality.
Art, you can get cheap art, but you know it's cheap art.
Yeah.
Okay. You get expensive art, and people don't know it's expensive. If that makes sense.
Right. Because it exists.
It's just there, right? Like people will point out that Fantasy Flight will reuse art assets in their games.
I don't find that a criticism. I think it's great.
I'm not gonna get mad at that.
They own that asset. They should use it.
Yeah, use it as many times as you want to, because most of the time it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
the Star Wars RPG books are gorgeous,
and also they're like, the cool thing about those is they're blown up versions of art you've seen on cards.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay,
and there's like a lot of details you actually get to appreciate.
Yeah,
I mean, like this card, for example, is just like a bunch of dudes in suits just kind of hanging around.
Yeah,
you know, like if you didn't know, if you don't know the movie, you don't know this is the end of the movie, right? These guys didn't do anything. These guys didn't do anything.
Why are they 7 power, 7 armor?
Yeah. You know, but the FFG cards, you get like those blown up pictures, and there's all kinds of cool stuff going on.
So like also why? So like for example, the only way you know what is attack and what is health is by the little number.
Yeah.
Next to the little letter next to the number.
Yeah, and that little letter is pretty microscopic.
It's so tiny. Oh, and did you know? How do you tell what a unique character is in this game?
Let's put a unique character.
Tell me why Darth Vader is unique. I'll put it out there for
pop quiz.
usually, right, there's some kind of there's some sort of indicator in a card that tells you it's unique and you can have 2 copies of it in play. I didn't even talk about stacking. I'm not even going to talk about stacking in this game.
Yeah.
Because you can stack characters on each other.
I could have stacked Obi-Wan in that game, but it didn't matter.
Okay. I see.
What's the indicator here?
Because I had to look it up, and I didn't... Because there were cards that have the same name, and I was like, is it anything with the same name?
The dot in the corner? This dot right here?
Bottom right dot is...
That
rarity.
is the rarity.
So that's a common. So it's actually the same rarity symbols as Keyforge, which is kind of funny. Oh, I think those are pretty popular rarity symbols. Star and diamond and circle for that. I think the thing underneath his speed is the set number.
Yes.
The rebel symbol is the set number. That was the other thing I thought might be it, but then I realized it was on every card.
Yep.
So that's not it. And it's kind of an awkward place for like a set number to be. I would think that would normally be like to the left of the set number. Like there. Instead of the set symbol, right?
Yeah. Under like between information.
So I might have to like bring this closer to the camera for you to see what actually is. It is this little tiny letter.
Yeah, right there.
It says C, right? So every version of Vader will have a different letter. So this is Vader C.
Yeah. We got Luke C here. I also had Obi-Wan G because these Obi-Wans can be stacked with the Obi-Wans from Attack of the Clones.
Right.
Here's Luke Skywalker D. This is like a pilot one. And honestly, stacking, it's like you get some extra stats if you stack them on each other.
Yep.
And you can like choose.
You basically pay their difference in cost, and you put it on top of another one. It lets you play multiples. And it also can't be the same one. So you can't stack a C on a C. You have to stack a D on a C, vice versa.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple copies of a character,
it's to me it's just clunky.
It's
as
like
hell.
a wash. I don't know.
It's just clunky as hell.
I guess we're done criticizing this game. We've said a lot about it. There's probably more that can be said. That being said, I had fun rolling dice for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Even losing.
A fistful of dice is fun.
And the game doesn't drag on after you're losing. You just lost.
It's just done. It's just over. You're like, well, I guess the game's over.
Yeah.
And there's something to that.
Yeah.
I'd be like just
I
done,
think so.
move on to the next one.
I mean, that's kind of like how Destiny was too. Like once your first character's dead, it's like the game's not lasting that much longer.
Right. It, like if it had to be bang bang where your character died, their character died.
Yeah.
Like, you
and then
immediately
the other two beating on each other.
Yeah, and the last two fought it out.
That was the most fun in Destiny. It was like when those kind of decks were popular. I think it kind of changed into more ships or like vehicles.
Yeah,
just
supports and stuff.
lame.
And I don't know.
Super lame. Okay, back on Sunday for more Keyforge.
Keyforge.
It's the top cut. No.
Yeah, we got like a handful of games. We're done on Wednesday.
So yeah, then this is the top cut.
This is gonna
like
get us
top
to
8.
Yeah.
This is top 8. Bottom 8. Bottom 8.
Bottom 8.
Bottom 8 Keyforge.
Worst decks.
And then Monday, Lord of the Rings gonna start the new saga.
Yeah, where we're rewriting the beloved franchise, Lord of the Rings. Justin and I are taking our unique visions. Now, while I have criticized artists, I am at my core a writer, and I'm going to make Lord of the Rings the trilogy it deserves.
Better than Tolkien could possibly write.
Yeah. Tolkien, what does he know? He invented a language for that?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem smart.
No big deal.
Yeah.
There's plenty of languages. Use one of those.
Yeah. Like English. That's enough.
What a waste of time.
God, what a nerd.
All right, guys. Have a great evening.
Appreciate everybody stopping by tonight.
We'll see you on Sunday, and then we'll see you on Monday, and then we'll see you next Wednesday, and so forth.
Yep.
Goodbye.
See ya.
I got a button. Hold on.
Oh, wait, the button.
Bye.
And bye.